45% of the population are undecided on who they will vote for on July the 4th. A fifth of the population are still going to vote Tory after 14 years of chaos, economic decline, massive debt, highest taxes in 70 years, and a crumbling infrastructure. And when you pose this question, are UK voters stupid? Well, it's a complicated question. Inherently, I don't think the average voter is stupid. I think they're disillusioned. I think they've lost trust in politics. And there's a reason why people are turning to reform. The centre ground, the liberals, as we call them as socialists, are or have been ceding the ground to the right. There's a reason why immigration has been such a key component of the discourse. This is not inevitable. The Overton window is shifted to the right, and Nigel Farage has fuelled that focus on immigration. And it's a very simple solution to a complex economic problem. The neoliberal model that came about in the late 70s, 80s with Thatcher and Reagan is dying. We need something new. We need a new model. We need to think about how growth is not certain anymore, especially in the UK. We've been growing very slowly, like 0.5%. We are pretty much stagnant as an economy, and we don't hear any plans from anybody, Labour, Conservative, Reform, of how do you regrow the system, because it takes very deep and ideological change. And I don't think anybody in the political class is really ready for the fact that we need to really reinvent capitalism and think about what the model is going to be with AI, automation, what jobs are going to look like in the next decades. So many questions, but they have no, again, and this is part of the political system, it's that it's so short-termism. Like 5 years, that's all they care about, is what can we do in 5 years, how is it going to affect us. They're not looking to what the British economy is going to look like in 30 years. They do not care. So inherently, again, I don't think people are stupid. I think they're exploited. I think they're preyed upon. And certainly Nigel Farage is charismatic, and he does give wrong but simple answers to people's problems. It sounds somewhat intuitive to go, well, we just stop immigration. But that causes so many more problems, because we are an ageing population. People aren't having children for complex reasons, and we need to fill in those jobs. Again, carers is a big one. With an ageing population, we've got a huge deficit of carers, NHS staff. Again, 45,000 nurses. And to say that people who are tempting or being tempted by reform is stupid is simplistic. Although, again, we don't have a good political education. I think democracy is predicated on a informed and well-educated populace, and we don't have that in politics. The mainstream discourse is so simplistic, and it invites, especially with the internet and social media, it does invite very clickbaity, simple answers, provocative ideas to complicated, long-term historical, economic, cultural problems that are deeply embedded, again, in capitalism. And we don't talk about really why capitalism is failing. And it is on a huge basis just of how unequal this country is. The poor are very poor in this country, and the rich are only getting richer since COVID. And I could sit down with a reform voter and ask them questions. Why do you want to vote reform? And they will say, well, immigration has gone up, their cost of living has gone up, and I could talk about the benefits of migration and immigration and how Brexit has taken 40 billion off the tax receipts. But we need a better story, and it's hard to come up with simple stories to complicated answers. It is hard to get the reality across in a few simple ideas. And I don't know how to convince a reform voter that they're being lied to and manipulated, because it's an emotional thing, and I try not to just try and be emotional. I want to isolate the facts and go, okay, how can we make the UK better? Where can we put the taxes that benefit the most people? And our political system does not invite nuance. It's, again, short-termism. The populism of Nigel Farage is very far right. He loves his dog whistles. He can't just be honest about his beliefs because they are abhorrent. He is a fascist, and obviously people don't like that in Britain. We fought World War II. That's one of our biggest achievements. That's probably our last great achievement in many ways, historically. And I do not think UK voters are stupid. I think they're treated like they're stupid, and by the left and the right, but I think it's inevitable that there is going to be cynicism because we aren't educated to appreciate politics, and we only become politicised when things get as bad as they are. And I think maybe things will get worse before they get better. So comment below. Are UK voters stupid? Are they disillusioned? And how do we, challenge the political establishment? I know it's a big question, but what are the next coming decades going to look like in the UK? Unless we have some serious change in the political system. Comment below and I'll see you in the next